Hi everyone, I'm hoping that everyone is healthy and staying safe, even due to everything what's going out there. And welcome back on the channel. Wow, we got to the first milestone today. This is the 5th video already. I can't even believe it when I was starting over the videos that I'm gonna make it as far as the 5th one. And 6th one is already in progress, so yes. This time I brought you a village instead of a house. It was an exciting project for me, to be honest. I was not planning to do a whole village, but when I was looking on the internet for some new inspirations what to build in to fill up our Japanese village, I came across to this Gassho village style. Like these are a separate design of the houses. These are meant to be like really like farmhouses on rice fields, I think. So I found a really inspiring photo of them, and it's a whole village. I assume you can visit this village actually, to be honest. So I thought like, oh yeah, let's fit it in. So I just gone into a bigger plot on Brindleton Bay and get into it as I did not want it to waste any time. So you can see that here I've already added the houses and then start to shape up the village. But let's get back onto the video and creating. I just wanted to ask you, if you are new here, please hit the like button if you like the video, and if you want to stick around and follow my journey with building the village and then gameplay hopefully coming soon, then hit the subscribe button. And if you hit the bell as well next to the subscribe button, then you're gonna get a reminder whenever I post a video. So please feel free if you want to be a part of this journey, and if you have anything, any suggestion, any comment, please leave it below the video, because I am looking forward for ideas. Also, if you wanted to tell anything, what should I do, what should I change, let me know. Feel free, that's in the comment section. I am looking forward to speak with you. All right, so here in the village we already like more or less shaped up the houses, and you'll see during this video sometimes I pause for a second because I was checking the photo just to make sure that I'm matching up everything. Now with the roofs I struggled because they meant to be really fluffy roofs, and none of the roof patterns would work out really well. So I was keep changing it up and down, up and down. You're gonna see that they are probably gonna change within the video still. And then I was trying to figure out how to create like these houses. Literally, they don't meant to contain really anything in them. They are really village style houses. So there should have been only like a bed and a stall for some horses. Now obviously we don't have horses, so I have left that out. There was no point for me to create extra entrance and everything. But they have a really like unusual shape to them. They have this really tall and long roofs, and inside the house they do tend to have a second floor, but because there was literally nothing for me to put into the houses, I did not want it to use the attic part. So I've just decided to open up the roofs, so they're gonna be like open air inside, but that's it. And also you're gonna see later on that I was a really nice sim god, because I actually gave quite a few bits to the villagers who's gonna move in. So yeah, I was trying. I'm trying to be a good god. Although I wanted to ask like anyone who fancy casts, and if you would like to create a few villagers for me, or even I'm still after some geishas for the gameplay, sorry, please feel free, create them. If you use CC, because I am usually using CC, like even in the builds as well as on my townies, then feel free to link me to those CCs which you're using. I am more than happy to download them and add your creations into my game, because I do need a whole village worth of people. So if you do, please put them or just post them with a hashtag on the gallery. Use like Nicolette villagers. And if you create any geishas, then just use Nicolette geisha. Or if you prefer something else, feel free. And then just comment below, and I'm gonna look for your gallery ID and download them. And obviously, I'm going to feature your little creations in the videos. So feel free, give me a shout. Any ideas, even if you come across to a really good CC for Asian, Japanese themes, please give me a shout, because I'm on the market for some new CCs. So back into the town, I have not quite used before the debug items, but I was watching a couple of building channels, and everyone fancied to get into the debug, so I thought I should give it a try, and actually I found treasures. So if you don't know what's the debug, just Google it. You're gonna find the cheat where you can actually unlock all these items. It is free of charge with that little cheat. I think it's show hidden objects on, but you're gonna have to use the testing cheats on cheat as well before you are able to find them. The only trouble with debug items, obviously you can't search for them. So in a search bar, just type in debug and select one of the upcoming menus, and then you can narrow down your search for the packs which you have. But more or less that's it, so you actually have to go through on them. But I found so many treasures. I found like a couple of new trees which I was desperate need for this village, because this village meant to be in the middle of a forest, like a fieldy foresty place. So I was quite happy to find a few more trees. And as prior, you could see that I was using those broken fences. They just like what I've dreamed. It made the village really like filled with life, I think. That's the best what I can tell. So yeah, I filled up with debug items, and then I've gone into the decoration of the houses. They obviously, like as Japanese houses, I added this entrance part where you're supposed to kick off your shoes. I'm not quite sure whether these houses should have this. I have not find loads of photos from the inside. I rather found just like drawings from the inside of these houses, and they are usually just covered with wood everywhere, and literally just have a bed, go in, sleep, and there are usually a community place where you can get food. It not get that, but to cook food, obviously. So I've left one building in the middle, which is not a house, it's gonna be a community place. And I've added this fire pit from debug, but I've realized that's not quite what I wanted. So I had to swap it over, and I still have not hit the spot which I wanted. I'll show it later. I've added it as a bonus track into this video, because I've realized it just after I was testing the village, actually what's working and what's not. So on here I've found a couple more like closer photos, and spotted that they should have this little entrance way outside. So I've added all these pools, pulled up the roofs, and yeah. Now with the houses, after building the whole village, I realized that I could have just copy and paste the houses. But here you go, they all built individually, they are different, and it's probably it gives more life anyway. But yeah, next time I might remember on the option of copy and just paste. It would be probably a little bit easier. So on here I'm adding the windows, everything. I was trying not to use like lots of electricity stuff in the houses because I'm not even sure. I don't think they had any electricity in these houses, but some of the houses were just so dark with these lanterns. So finally, I've just cheated in a few lights just to make sure that actually if I'm playing in this place, then it won't be pitch dark. So adding all the lights, and then I've gone into the decoration. So as I mentioned, I was a really nice sim god and added kitchen into every single house, but they're not meant to have kitchen, to be honest. But I was like, I wanted to fill up them a little bit, and I know because of the gameplay part it could be difficult if they don't have an own kitchen, so I was like, yeah, let's just decorate it. But I'm hoping you are happy with this and you do accept, but it is not the traditional way how they're supposed to look. And with the beds I was struggling because I had that bug again where they just won't appear, or they do disappear when you place them. And I was like, I'm added these single futons but lifted them up, and obviously when I was testing them in the gameplay, they wouldn't work, so I had to get rid of them. They should have gone onto the flat surface and then they would work. But I was like, yeah, okay, so it's just gonna be one double bed and there won't be any single beds next to it. And what I've done, these little buildings, they meant to be just like, I think just to store stuff, but I've decided to use them as the toilet and the shower. So actually none of the houses have a shower inside. It's all in these outbuildings. And what I've realized when I was editing the video, lol, I've just seen that there are no tubs at all. So my Sims will walk miles and miles to get their hands washed. But hey, yeah, I can always add some tabs in later on, so it's okay, I guess. So as I mentioned, that I was decorating the houses individually. As you can see that some of them has a little bit bigger kitchen, some of them rather has a sofa in or some wardrobes. It's just depending on the family, I guess, who is gonna live in. So I've decided to make them a little bit different, just a little bit. I did not want it to add lots of clutter and everything, because this house is not meant to have a lot. And again, here you can see that I'm lifting up and adding a single futon bed, but again it was not working, so I had to get rid of it. But hey, that should be the smallest issue, I guess. So it's still decorating, and I had one house left, which is a little bit bigger, and I decided to make it like a little bit richer probably, but I wanted to add like woodworking table and everything, so just give a life to the village, I guess. So that house is a little bit bigger. I've added here then like the futons which meant to hold these single beds, and obviously they do work, but I can't combine the two different. And from this floor laying futons, unfortunately I don't have any double. All of them is just like twin or etc. So if I want to give the option for my Sims to have sometimes, maybe just sometimes, a woo and have kids around, then I had to go with the double beds, I guess. So on here we gone on to the last bathroom, which is a storage, but for us it's gonna be a bathroom, and finish it up. And I went on to the community place straight away. So on here I had a quite weird shape house, but I was trying to use it up. So I've added a bath as well, because obviously for the kids you need bath. And on here I've added a tub, so they're gonna have 2 tubs for the whole village. I'm not quite sure how it's gonna work out, but hey. And then I went back into the debug stuff and looked for some more to fill up the village, and still found really nice stuff which I really enjoy to place around. So I don't know how you feel, but I think this village came to life for me. I quite like to build it. It was a big project, I'm not saying, because it like, just to film it while I was building it, it was like around 3 hours or so. But I quite like how it turned out, and I think it can be filled. Like, I can't wait to fill it up with life, to be honest. So yeah, once more, if you feel to create a few Japanese or even just one Japanese townie for me, then please let me know, and I'm gonna add them into this town for sure. So here we go on the bonus video, where I realized that the fire pit which I've added into the community place is not working. So I was looking for a fire pit which could go only outside, obviously, so I had to demolish the half of the house, put in the fire pit, and then get rid of the demolition and build back the house. But this is still not the fire pit which I was looking for. I was looking for the one which is in Sulani, where you can actually cook some pork. So here we go. Feel free to take a look on the village, and please, if you like the video, hit like and hit subscribe. If you have anything to tell me, feel free to leave a comment. I'm so glad to hear back from you. And you have a lovely, lovely day. Bye.